So lately, me and a certain friend of mine were experiencing the very known emotion of boredom. So, the best thing to do at 2 a.m. is either goon or sleep. You know what we decided to do? We decided to watch the worst movie in our lives, and that movie we're going to be talking about today is Rise of the Black Bat. Now, before we get started into me explaining the movie to you, which, by the way, I had to rewatch a couple of times to make the video, right? Well, you probably don't know me, right? Hi, I'm Enyo. You probably either know me in IRL or you just stumbled upon my video. If you did stumble upon my video, please like and subscribe because that does help me a lot, and it's a fair trade. You get done videos and I get a subscriber. Anyways, let's get into the video. So, the movie starts off pretty weirdly. See, we see these two guys. They're discussing about, the guy wanting to take a leak, and one of them does this dumb joke.
Right. Make it quick.
Okay, Mom.
Shut up.
But it was 3 a.m., so of course I laughed at it. Now, he goes to take a leak, and after a while, the other guy gets worried, so he goes up to check on him, and then we see this thing. Oh my god. So then we get to know our Black Bat. His name is Anthony Quinn, and he used to be some sort of attorney. Well, we'll get into that later, and you'll understand what happened. So, in the intro, we see him fighting bad guys who, to be honest with you, don't know how to shoot, and neither does he. I mean, the gunfight scenes in this movie are exceptionally bad. Like, they're just shooting into the void. The funniest part for me personally was the part where they start shooting and one of them is like holding an MP7 and he's acted like there's so much recoil to the MP7. So then we get a weird intro, like with like 3D imagery of the city and the stuff and the title card. Yeah, I totally didn't steal that from anybody or any YouTuber. Now, anyways, after the title card, we get another scene of the Black Bat being a hero. Now, to be honest, this thing took way too long. We followed this woman for like 3 or 4 minutes straight. This was horrible. You have to skip some parts of the movie because they feel like they're never ending. So, Anthony is in a shootout with these two bad guys. He, of course, wins. The gunfight took way too long. It took longer than it should have. Now, we're then for like 4 minutes, I think, just get a camera angle of Black Bat driving in his Honda Civic. I'm not sure what car that is. Please leave it in the comments because I have no ideas with car interiors. Now, we are going into a flashback of some sort of how the Black Bat's life used to be when he used to be just a normal guy. And so in the flashback, we see that, well, Anthony comes back from working as a attorney, I guess. I don't know. And, well, somebody breaks into his house and it's like the dumbest thing ever. The guy who broke in is into Anthony's bedroom, but he doesn't see him there. So Anthony catches him by surprise and holds him at gunpoint. So Anthony is going to put a very big criminal into jail. And so he came to warn us about him because he's very dangerous.
20 minutes later.
So then, well, it happens. A guy breaks into our house. This time it's a real bad guy.
If I shoot you, you're in the clan. Sorry, you didn't make it.
So, after killing the guy, what Anthony does next? Well, the first guy who broke in, yeah, he seems pretty cool. Let's make him our butler. And so, basically, the guy ends up being Anthony's butler for the rest of the movie, which is, like, really dumb, and it doesn't make sense. So, then we skip forward to the next morning, I think. And, well, he's speaking with his secretary. By the way, she's fine as hell. I would tap that. Now, a blonde girl walks like behind the secretary. So the guy just stares at her and it's so fucking awkward. And then he quote-unquote gets back to the secretary. And bro, I can't. It was like the dumbest shit ever. When I saw this with my friend, we just found it hella bizarre. Anyways, after speaking with the secretary and whatnot, we see the bad guy. The guy who he's trying to put away in jail, right? We see him nod his head, and then the secretary takes some sort of, I don't know, some weird glass and like throws some blue liquid into Anthony's eyes, which like turn him blind. I don't know what was in there that just instantly made that guy blind. Now, afterwards, we get like a scene of being through, the perspective of Anthony, where he's basically in a hospital and he's looking at the nurse, and the nurse is basically saying that, yeah, this guy's hella blind. He ain't seen anytime soon. So then we skip forward to him being in the house, right? And he's chilling. Meanwhile, our butler, well, is doing what a butler does best and trying to motivate us that we can still fight crime, And then the blonde girl shows up what? And she basically offers us a operation that can heal our eyesight somehow magically. Even though we tried a bunch of things. Now, I don't know where the hell we're gonna get sent by this random blonde girl who we saw once in the hallway and never saw again, right? Get it? Because he's blind. Anyways, we then get this quick montage of random, like, stock footage of, like, surgeons and whatnot showcasing, you know, peak American, you know, health system. Woohoo! God bless America, am I right? And then end up racking, like, 2 million in debt just because you, like, I don't know, broke your toe or something. Anyways, after that, we see the guy go back home, Anthony, right? And so he takes off his, like, a blindfold or some sorts. And once he sees again, the first thing he says is, like, oh, it's too bright, I can't see anything and whatever, turn off the lights. And then he, like, realizes that he has, like, night vision. So then he decides to, oh, you know what? This could serve me a lot of purposes. So the first thing he does is go to this weird theater. And, like, I couldn't expect anything, right? I was thinking, like, you know, it's some theater, he's gonna watch a show and meet up with, like, some sort of contact. No, it's a theater that's being used for a show to show girls that are in bikini. I can't even show this shit on YouTube, I'm pretty sure. So then he starts speaking to the contact and trying to figure out information about the bad guy whose name is Snate. By the way, this guy is the worst snitch ever. Like, for $1,000 you pay this guy, he snitches out your entire bloodline.
I just gonna be a snitch, and I'm gonna be mad. This is like really funny. Times all three of them.
So then we get for 10 minutes straight the longest get ready with me I've ever seen in my life. It's basically Anthony putting on his clothes. And by the way, his outfit is basically a puffer jacket of some sorts. I think he tried to make it look like a bulletproof vest. He has the Batman mask, but without the horns, which looks really, really stupid. It reminds me of that one meme of Batman where he's like missing the teeth and he's just like smiling. That's pretty much it. That's the black bat, I guess. I don't know. So we decide to intervene one of the deals. I think one of the guys is like Steve and he's supposed to lead us to Snake. I'm not even sure what the fuck is going on, to be honest with you. By the way, if you've made it so far into this absolute brain rot adventure, please subscribe. That helps me mentally a lot because I had to rewatch this movie 10,000 times. So yeah, please just support me and my poor eyes. Now anyways, we interrupt the deal and we get this really goofy scene, I guess.
Oh no, I don't count money at the drop.
Smart man.
Besides, I figure you need the guns more than I need the money.
What the hell is this? He with you?
Nope.
You sure?
Guys I hang with just not freaking that dude.
You got a problem, friend?
You've got the problem, and I'm not your friend.
Hey, the friend thing was a courtesy. Kind of like use it out of my way. I don't kill you.
I'll take my chances.
So then we get into a gunfight with the two of the goons, or the three of the goons. I think we just kill one of them. And then at the end we kill another. So only Steve remains, right? So we basically like grab, you know, the guy who works for Snake, and well, we tell him to give Snake a message. I had to cut this shit short because there are like some dumb dialogues which I don't even think are like even needed for the plot. But anyways, we then cut to a 10-minute montage of a car driving. So after that little car montage, we arrive at the base of operations of Snake. So once we're there, we cut back to where we were beforehand, you know, the gunfight with the guy with the MP7 and whatever. And as we're fighting them, we do eventually, you know, get like deeper into the enemy territory and whatever. Then we see like Slade is looking through a camera while asking if a post 17, which is basically like some sort of squad name or some shit, to see if they're even alive. And then he sees the black bat through the camera, and the guy, you know, shoots the camera, kind of like a hitman. So the black bat advances through the base of operations. Scary. And well, then he gets basically kind of captured. They're all holding him at gunpoint. So we pretty much think it's Joe over for him, right? Well, you're thinking wrong, buddy, because this isn't Batman. This is Blackbat. They're not the same. This is why this movie is peak. So back to the situation. Basically held captive at this point until, well, the Blackbat has always a solution, right? He's the smartest guy in the room. The guy takes some sort of dynamite and like taps it on his shoulders. And so everybody runs away except for like the mafia boss, I guess. And so they get into a gunfight, which obviously the Blackbat does win. And well, after the gunfight, well, the Blackbat decides to blow up the entire base of operations, even though that's pretty bad for the evidence, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, no, that was the movie. We then get like a little montage of like showing like the Blackbat has like risen and like he's taking down criminality and whatnot, which I found pretty cool, but like the movie was pretty, to put it simply, pretty bad, you know. So yeah. Conclusion. Overall, I think the movie is pretty bad, but like it's those types of movies where if you watch them with a friend of yours, or like if you watch them when you're like half awake, or if you're like, I don't know, tripping, it can be funny, and it is funny at certain points. But the problem with the movie is that, well, it just has some random scenes which don't fit in, and they're too long. Some of the scenes take 10 minutes for no reason. Like the scenes with the bikini girls in the theater, it takes way too long than it should. You know, I had to like skip forward that scene because it was, first of all, boring, because you were mostly just seeing the girls. Now, secondly, I think the actors aren't that bad. It's weird. They're aiming for like comedy, but like it's not funny. But yeah, no, overall the movie was alright. I mean, wouldn't rewatch it. I wouldn't watch it with I don't know, a girlfriend or anything like that. I would rather just watch it when, you know, you're bored or some stuff. Now, props to the guys who made the movie. I respect them hugely because it takes a lot of time. So yeah, I hope you like this video. If you do like these types of videos of me reviewing, I don't know, weird movies, just hit the like and subscribe button and tell me in the comments if you want more of this. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video, and yeah, that's it, guys. See ya.